Hey y'all, welcome back for another hunting ammo ballistics gel test. Something a little bit different today. We've got Fiocchi Hyperformance with a 139 grain SST bullet in 7mm-08. And here's your pretty cool looking box for your Fiocchi 139 grain SST load out of the 7mm-08. I don't know how to actually pronounce that. I'm going to say Fiocchi. If you want to get ticked, you can whine in the comments. Go ahead and flip it around to the back. Here's your promo info. Feel free to stop, pause, and read all that if you would like. And of course, muzzle velocity is stated at 2,800 feet per second. And would you look at that? They actually have a barrel length stated here on the box. I love when manufacturers do this. Tested from a 24-inch barrel. Let's go ahead and pull the stuff out and take a look. Oh my gosh, this brass looks like garbage. Oh my goodness, wow. I hope you can see that if the camera's picking it up. I mean, this stuff looks like it came off of the floor of an 1800s English manufactorum pumping out some sort of cast iron ware. But my gosh, the brass looks like trash. I don't think that'll matter when we shoot it, just something to be aware of. Let's go ahead and pull one out and take a look. There's your 139 grain SST. Let's go shoot it and see how it does. And my test rifle today is my Ruger American Gen 2, chambered in 7mm-08, of course. It's got a 20-inch barrel, and we are taking advantage of that threaded muzzle. Up top, we've got a Vortex Diamondback scope, and I've got it in my own custom-painted Gen 1 stock. And coming on back, I've got to show you one of my handmade leather cartridge cuffs. Check out my website, masonleather.com, to get yourself one. I would love to make you one. And I've also got one of my super thick Latigo leather slings here, also available on my website, masonleather.com. If you're looking for a leather sling that'll last a lifetime, you're going to want to check these out. And coming around to the other side, I've got to show you my whitetail deer design.
We'll be taking 3 shots from 100 yards, firing into 10% ballistics gel that has been calibrated to meet the FBI's ballistics testing protocol. And while ballistics gel isn't an exact proxy for big game, it does provide a repeatable medium through which to test various bullets and ammo against each other. After the shots, we'll examine bullet expansion, weight retention, penetration, and velocity. My goal is to provide hunters like you and I with the most objective information possible to help us make the best choice for our particular hunting situation. The ballistics gel in this video has been sourced from Clear Ballistics. You can find a link in the description.
So let's go ahead and shoot it. And here are your velocities for that Fiocchi Hyperformance 139 grain SST load. Minimum 2671, maximum 2694 for an average of 2685. And a quick announcement, if you'd like early access to my videos weeks and even months in advance of everyone else, become a channel member. The links will be in the video description and the pinned comment. Thanks y'all. And we are down at the blocks after shooting that Fiocchi Hyperformance 7mm-08 load with 139 grain SST, and we did capture all 3 bullets. Let's take a look at penetration. It's a little tough to see the shallowest one. It's right there. We're going to give that one 20.5 inches. This one is sitting right at 21 inches, and then this one, gosh, it's kissing 22.5 inches. It's right in between, so we're gonna give it 22.5. And they look really nicely mushroomed. Looks like they held together for the most part while shedding some weight and doing damage up front. Coming over to the other side, we can see them a little bit better. You can see the mushrooming there. You can see this one down here a little bit better. They look really nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wound tracks, which are real nasty. They come in, expand out by the 1 to 1.25 inch mark, deliver a big shock up front. There's quite a bit of fragmentation in there. Nasty wound channel that goes back really about here is where it kind of starts tapering off, about just before the 8-inch mark. So that's going to be in the vitals of a whitetail deer or something similar, assuming you don't like nail the shoulder bone and sort of hinder that a little bit and make it a little bit shallower. But really nice looking wound tracks. I think these did what SSTs are designed to do. So let's go ahead and dig these guys out and take a look. And real quick, if you're watching this video anytime around when it came out, I'm having a huge sale on my website, masonleather.com. Go check it out and get yourself something. All right, y'all, we've got those bullets pulled out of the blocks. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The 139 grain SSTs from the Fiocchi Hyperformance line out of the 708. Weight retention, 80 grains, 93 grains, and 95 grains for an average of 89 grains retained weight. That 64% weight retention, not surprising with an SST bullet. Some of it's going to break up. You're not going to maintain full bullet weight. It's supposed to deliver that shock, super shock tip SST. These performed about like I would expect in terms of weight retention. Expansion, 0.55, 0.57, and 0.62 inches for an average of 0.58 inches expanded diameter. That's 2x expansion. That's right at the 2x mark I like to see for medium game hunting ammo. Pretty good. And look at the photo here of the bullets. The expansion was nice and uniform and concentric. These are good looking expanded bullets here. I can't knock it. On to velocity. Our high velocity was 2694. Our low was 2671 for an average of 2686 versus the factory build velocity of 2800 feet per second. So we came in 114 feet per second under the factory build velocity on average. Not surprising, we're shooting them out of a 20-inch barreled rifle. That's what I have. No one's providing me guns for this stuff. It's all out of my own pocket. We're going to use what I got. And for a 20-inch barreled rifle, 114 feet per second slow isn't that bad. If you had a 24-inch barrel, you could chew up the majority, if not all of that, potentially. And when comparing to all the other 7mm-08 loads that I've tested, this is right there in that window about where most of them are. Most of them came in 100 to 150 feet per second under their spec out of the 20-inch barrel of my particular rifle. And the estimated impact velocity down at 100 yards would be about 2,471 feet per second. Penetration-wise, these did pretty darn good. 20.5 inches, 21 inches, and 22.5 inches. For an average of about 21.5 inches of penetration. That's past the 20-inch mark I like to see for medium game hunting ammo. For your average whitetail deer, something, I think these would do just fine. They perform about like I would expect. And kinetic energy wise, with a 139 grain bullet going on average 2,686 feet per second, we're looking at 2,226 foot-pounds at the muzzle and about 1,884 foot-pounds down there at 100 yards. All right, y'all, it's time for my final thoughts on that Fiocchi Hyperformance load, the 139 grain SST out of the 7mm-08. Across the board, it did pretty darn good. I can't really knock it anywhere. Weight retention is what I would expect from an SST, so is expansion. The penetration was good. It didn't penetrate particularly deep. I wouldn't think it would with this kind of a bullet. Velocity was also pretty good compared to the other 708 loads that I've tested. This seems like a very well-rounded load. I wouldn't hesitate to use it on whitetail deer, hogs of, average size and stuff like that. I think it's a decent option, especially if it shoots accurately out of your rifle. Now, the only thing I could knock it about, and it's not the bullet or the load itself, but it's sort of the branding and marketing of it. So it's called Hyperformance. Now, when I see that on the box, I kind of think, Superformance, like Hornady's Superformance line. It's loaded a bit hotter, supposed to go a bit faster. When I hear Hyperformance, I think the same kind of thing. But this isn't like an increased velocity load. It's a standard velocity load for the bullet weight in the cartridge. So other than the name being, kind of funny, I can't knock this stuff. It performed really well. If you've used this ammo on game, let us know in the comments how it did for you. And check out my website, masonleather.com, and get yourself some leather gear handmade by me just for you. I've been handcrafting leather gear for hunters for over a decade, and I would love to make you something. And there are hundreds of reviews on my website, so you can see what real hunters have to say about their Mason leather gear. And also tons of photos showing all the customizable options, including name, initial, and caliber stamping, as well as wild game designs and more. Everything is handmade by me right here in the USA. I would love to be a part of your hunt through my leather gear. And it helps support this channel, so I can bring you more hunting ammo ballistics gel tests, and lots of other cool stuff in the future. The link will be in the video description and the pinned comment, or you can just type masonleather.com into your web browser.
And click one of these cards for more hunting ammo ballistics gel tests.